Today we're over at the new Hazelwood community by Keystone Homes here in Chandler, Arizona. And this is a very intimate gated community that just opened in the past couple weeks with only 22 home sites. This, of course, being one of them. And we're here at the Williamette model home that they have here. And I'm going to be honest, this is one of my favorite model homes to come to the East Valley in years. So let me take you on a tour around this home and, of course, the neighborhood as well and show you around. All right, so walking up to this home, something you're going to notice is it has both a front covered walkway area and, of course, this central courtyard here. And I love they did it with a lot of different character. First thing is they have this beautiful red brick, which is also featured on both the front and the rear of the house as well. And they did it, of course, with an arch around that front walkway area. They also did the sand stucco, which not all the tract builders are going to do. Again, Keystone is going to be a smaller, more intimate builder. Kind of compare it to something like a Camelot in some of the areas in the East Valley that they've done recently. But again, more special and unique than what you're going to find typically. I also love that they did gutters on this courtyard too. It does have the pavers and just the way they set it up with these rose bushes right here, the little palm trees. It's sort of like a Spanish paradise here in Arizona and very unique to see. All right, so as we walk inside here, the first room off the front door, and depending on how you want it to be on the left or right side, it's going to be this den space. And this is a nice sized den space and a few things to talk about in here. Part of these are how they optioned this one. First thing, of course, is the engineered hardwood flooring. And this is a nice side wide plank oak flooring that you do see throughout the main living area on the home. I do love to see it carried into the office. They did also option for the tray ceiling, several recess cans, and of course a center light there. And I love the built-in bookshelf back over there too. And they're using this as their sales office, but as you can see, there is plenty of space in here to have a good sized desk, have that bookcase, and lots of room over here for additional seating and whatnot. All right, so heading into the main living area, the first thing you're going to notice too is that the ceiling height jumps from that 10 feet up to 12-foot flat ceilings throughout this area. And I'm going to be honest, I love the way this house is decorated. A lot of the homes that you'll see in this price point in the Southeast Valley have gone much more to a contemporary builder very type feel. This is a much more semi-custom, intimate feeling than what you're typically going to find. And I'll kind of tell you what I mean by that. The first thing you see over here are the black window frames. And I love the 4-light design on them too. And of course, you do have this brick fireplace. Now, it is a model home. It's going to have a lot more decor options than what you standard would get. But it's lovely to see that you can do it here through the builder, not something where some of these other builders are going to be much more strict on their guidelines. And this is the whitewash brick here. It does have the gas fireplace down there. Of course, it's got surround sound for the model home and a lot of different decor that I love the way. Another thing I love seeing here are these big multi-sliders on the rear of the home. And this one, they did option to do it both on the living room and then both walls of the dining room, which we'll get to in a moment. And this is a very nice sized living space as well. The way it's decorated, you do have the more intimate in the front and then kind of like a seating hangout formal area right behind it too. But obviously, depending on your furniture choices, you could always rotate it all to look towards the fireplace and ultimately a TV. And I do also love these little window bench seats they did on both sides of that fireplace as well. And heading into the kitchen and dining area where of course those 12-foot ceilings are continued into here, you do have these lovely quartz countertops, and here, these 42-inch uppers. They're more of a shaker style of how it's modeled, but it does have a little bit of trim inlay there. They did the Blanco sinks here too, and I love this wet bar area right off the kitchen. So it does add for additional counter space, entertainment space, and of course you do have the Sub-Zero fridge. In this kitchen too, it gets even nicer over this way. You do have one of the larger trash recycling pull-out bin. Lots of drawer space, which of course has these soft close drawers, as you just saw a moment ago. This big 48-inch Wolf range that is awesome to see, and I love this pot filler. Again, with the details, I like that this one is more of like an antique traditional look versus it being more contemporary. And then you do have the matching range vent. A big complaint from a lot of builders at this price point is that they don't do the cabinetry range vent. They just do the big metal one, which looks a little industrial. This one makes it look much more home styled, I would say. And again, they also did the quartz on the back there too, instead of a traditional backsplash. And you do have your microwave oven down below there. And into this dining space. This is one of my favorite decor spaces I've seen in a long time in a model home, and I want to tell you why. First off, the wood ends here, which if it had wood in here would be plenty nice, but I love this little strip of brick inlay here and the checkered tile in here. I'm a big fan of checker. I think it's one of the best design trends right now. Gives it some depth, dimension, and character. I also love they added in these big thick wood beams in there too. And with all of this glass on both of these sliders here, it gives a ton of amazing natural light. What's amazing too is this community is 22 home sites, all of which are north-south facing. This one in particular is going to be a south-facing backyard on the model home, and both streets are cul-de-sacs. So as we head over into the primary master suite area, first thing, I always love a good foyer setup in a master suite, especially when the space commands it size-wise, and this one's got it. So if we head into the bedroom area, the first thing you're gonna notice are dual walk-in closets. Now, it being the model home, they did do built-ins standard. I'm pretty sure the built-ins are included, but you also do have the 8-foot doors throughout, and these are solid core. But besides the 2 walk-in closets there, and in the actual bedroom itself, you do have a pretty nice sized room. They do it staged with a king bed, canopy set up with the 2 chairs there. Love the way it's decorated. It's got the tray ceilings, recessed lights, of course, surround sound too. And it does have direct access to the back patio and backyard. And as we head into the primary bathroom suite too, something else you're gonna notice just walking through here is, again, natural light. It is bright and open and awesome throughout this entire home. And this is a pretty nice sized home at 3,571 square feet before any options or bump outs. And in this bathroom, you do have a very nice sized vanity. I also love that they didn't do light above, that they went to the sconce look here, and the mirrors that are not one big piece of glass. It's separated here. It gives it a much more elegant feel than what you're gonna find in a lot of tract homes. And this being a smaller builder does definitely help a lot. As far as the rest of this here too, you do have a very nice walk-in shower. A lot of the time when you get a shower that has both the tub next to it and then of course the shower stall, the shower is pretty tight. It's not very great, but this one is actually very large. Now for comparison size, I'm about 5'10". I'm not a super wide guy, as you can see, but there is plenty of arm space in here to maneuver and walk around. It's not long and huge and it's intimidating, but it is definitely better size than what you're gonna see on a lot of square showers. And of course, you do have that free floating tub over there. Of course, last but not least is the water closet toilet room back over here. Now, this model room just opened, so they're working on some blinds there, but you can see it is a pretty decent size for what it is, and it has a window above the toilet for even more natural light. All right, so we're gonna head into the laundry area, mudroom area of this house. And something I do love about this space is, again, the design. They did this herringbone style with the brick floor that you saw featured over in the dining area, and I love this little mudroom cabinetry area here too. It's almost like a hall tree. It's not quite, but it does have this bench here with the quartz countertop. These little drawers down here for storage. And a nice size laundry room too. It's more of a boxy feel than a hallway, which both laundry rooms are going to be. But they did lovely cabinet choices in here. Love this gray finish in here. It's got the same quartz countertops, and I love that little Fido back over there. And since we're over on this side of the house, we might as well go check out the garage here. So something you're gonna notice is a 4-car tandem garage. Not a 2-car, but a 4-car tandem garage. And you do get the 10-foot ceilings in here too with that 8-foot door. It does have the service door, tankless hot water heater. But I love the way this is just decorated. These are the small things you see homes. But when they set it up like this, they take this good care of it. I think it's a very nice sign they're going to build a very nice home. A couple other things I do like out here too is what I mentioned yet, the expansion joints. So as you guys are familiar with in Arizona, drywall over time will crack, especially at the tape lines. These expansion joints help a lot with some of that cracking you're gonna see on like back patio covers or garages where it does get warmer because they're park AC units. So I do like when builders put those in. And it's one of those also 220 volt if you wanna run a welder in here, an electric car, things like that. All right, so now we're gonna head back inside and go check out the guest bedroom. So let's take a look. All right, so heading into the guest bedroom, the first area we're gonna touch on is the powder room and of course, guest bedroom number 1 over here. And this powder room is very moody. And I like it. It's kind of fun. It does have a tray ceiling in there, which you never see on little powder rooms in here. And while the mirror isn't installed just yet, again, I love they did the sconces like the primary master bathroom here. And this is a pretty good sized powder room. But heading over here too, you do have this little drop station storage area cabinet. And on this side, you've got your coat closet, which isn't much to talk about right now because it's a coat closet. But heading into this guest bedroom, again, with the staging here and the decor, they did an amazing job showcasing all these beautiful finishes that are available on the Keystone Homes here community here in Hazelwood. And this does have an ensuite bathroom here. I like that it's a raised vanity. I love that they did the tile actually up to the ceiling, not 2/3 of the way and then cheap out. And there's 8 drawers in this vanity. You do not see that a lot in a guest bathroom, especially just an ensuite in one of the guest bedrooms. And this is a good sized walk-in closet too for a guest bedroom. So very nice to see this sort of layout in this home. And as we walk out of here, we're gonna head into the other part of this wing and head over this way. And you do have this long hallway here, but I do like that it has these 3 windows that look over the front courtyard area from a few minutes ago to let in even more natural light. And as we head into this guest bedroom, you'll also see that it does have an ensuite. It's a pretty good sized bedroom. They have it staged, looks like a queen bed, 2 nightstands over there. I love the Jordans and the Michael Jordan vibe around here. Very fun with the basketball theme. And this guest bathroom is going to be a little bit smaller than that other one over here. So if you do have a favorite child, they're probably going to take that first bedroom, but that doesn't mean this is a bad room by any means at all. No, no, no. You do have, once again, a decent sized vanity here, 2 drawers, and then they also did that tile up to the ceilings here. Another thing this house does have throughout is the Santa Fe drywall finish, which has become more common and popular on higher end homes because it does give a more upgraded look, we'll say. And what you'll see is, for the most part, there aren't going to be any perfections. Every once in a while, you will see the slightest imperfection here and there, but this is going to be a higher end drywall finish. And I do think on higher price point homes, it does command it over a typical knockdown orange peel texture. And as we head into this front living space, this one is optioned as a casita setup. And what you get with that is first this additional wet bar area. So you have the beverage fridge, the sink down there, of course, these 42-inch uppers, a private door from the main house into the casita area. And this way, we do have a nice little living nook. Now, that kitchen, of course, isn't like a full-blown next-gen thing, but it seems like most people just need something that's more intimate and easy to take care of, and not something big and crazy for a guest suite. And if you notice when we were walking into the house, this is the door that comes in off the front. So you have your front door, and then you do have a separate exterior entrance door to this guest suite. And I love they option it with a wrought iron door versus a wood door that you typically would see. But again, not a huge space in here, but it doesn't need to be. It's nice and intimate. Love the tray ceilings and the recessed lights, and of course the surround sound carried in. And over this way, you're going to head into another guest bedroom over here. And of course, this one's going to have an ensuite. It is a little bit tighter of a room, but you do have a nice sized queen bed back there, the 2 nightstands, slider closet that way. And over here is that guest bathroom. And walking into this guest bathroom too, I do like that because it is a casita, theoretically maybe used by someone who's older, it did option it with a walk-in shower versus a tub shower combo for easier in and out access. I also have this more frameless style glass that's become more common over the past few years when it comes to sliding doors versus the old ones that you see at Lowe's and Home Depot for a few $100. But again, all of these bedrooms are going to have en-suites, which is awesome. Now that we're all done with the guest bedroom, we're going to head out to the backyard and take a look there. All right, so out here in the backyard, the first thing you're going to notice is those 12-foot ceilings from the living area just inside there are carried out back here on this back patio cover, and that red brick that I was mentioning out front of the home. You don't see a lot of that where that door is covered, especially if it's not right in the same spot. So it's really nice to see they did carry this throughout. It does give it a more cohesive look, I would say. And back here, this might not be a massive yard, but that's what you're going to find most of the time here in this part of town. There's very little land left. Chandler is over 90% built out now as of the filming of this video. I want to say the last figure I heard is 94%, and a couple years ago it was 92%. So you can do the math. There's not much left coming to Chandler. To still have a yard that's even decently sized is not the easiest to find, but you could still accommodate a pool back here, have a seating area, have a little play area. But if you're curious about this Williamette floor plan here in Hazelwood and want to know about other homes in the communities, both spec homes and new build options, and are just curious about the Chandler area overall, my information is below, and I look forward to helping on your home buying journey.